Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Devotional for Dads. Even as yesterday was Father's Day, I shared with you some tips from Psalm 23, and we're going to elaborate in the next couple of days based on Psalm 23 on each tip. The first tip I shared with you from Psalm 23 was based on the first verse: "The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want." And the first tip was this: make sure that Jesus is your Saviour Shepherd so you can lead your children to make the same decision. You know, the greatest thing in life on this earth is to know Jesus Christ and to have a personal relationship with Jesus. David said, "The Lord is my shepherd." That just shows the personal relationship that David had with the Lord through a personal choice and commitment to put his trust in him and to place his life in the hands of this wonderful good shepherd. And the greatest thing in our lives, and the next greatest thing that we can do after the greatest thing in our life of knowing Jesus, is to lead our children, our family, to come to know Jesus Christ. You know, today, a lot of us, especially dads and we fathers, we work so hard and sacrifice so much to provide earthly security for our children, to give them a good education, to make sure, they enjoy good things in life. And all these things are great. But you know what? Nothing is as great and nothing is as worth as our kids knowing Jesus Christ and having a personal relationship with Jesus Christ. You know, the greatest blessing we can ever give, the greatest asset, the greatest inheritance, the greatest legacy we can leave behind is a legacy of challenging and leading our children through sharing about the good news of Jesus Christ, even with our children, to come to know Jesus and give their hearts to Jesus Christ. We oftentimes have a lot of different conversation pieces as dads with our kids. We talk to them about their education. We talk to them, so how are your studies going? You know, what are the grades you've got? And we'll talk to them about the sports they are involved in and what's going on with the sports and the practices and what are some of the challenges. And we spend a lot of our hours, we invest, we would drive for hours, we would hang out in places for hours for extracurricular activities that we want our kids to be a part of and to grow in their talents and grow in their abilities. And while all these things are amazing and all these things are great, and I want to encourage you, dads, keep doing that. But in the midst of all that, don't lose sight to take time, to sacrifice and take time to teach your children about Jesus Christ, especially to lead them at a very young age to know Jesus Christ as their personal Lord and Savior, where they have a personal relationship with Jesus. Because the greatest security that we can give them is not earthly security, but eternal security. One can have earthly security, but that doesn't mean one has eternal security. But when one has a security for eternity, then one has a lot of security on this earth as well in the life that they are able to live. And so, dads, the greatest thing that you and I could ever do is to talk to our kids about Jesus Christ. While you're having conversation pieces about everything else, about movies, about sports, about studies, don't forget, the most important message that you need to share and talk about is the good news of Jesus Christ, and challenge them to come to know Jesus Christ and to give their hearts to Jesus Christ. And if you've already done that, talk almost every day, encouraging them to grow in that relationship with God. I remember one of the greatest moments in my life was when we moved from Abu Dhabi to Sri Lanka in 2015. And just before moving, at the end of 2014, the Lord laid upon my heart to take 6 months no pay leave and just not do any public ministry. But the Lord gave me 3 things that I need to focus on during that 6 months of leave. And that one of the things was to invest in the lives of my children. Now, when Ethan, my oldest son, was 7 years old, Tammy had the privilege of leading him to the Lord. I was doing ministry. We were in Abu Dhabi. I was ministering to others. But while I was ministering to others, I thank God that Tammy was there to minister to my oldest son, Ethan, to receive Jesus Christ. But always in my heart, I felt sad that I was not there when he made that decision, because that's the greatest decision any one of us can make and our kids could ever make. And I said, I decided that day I'm not going to let that happen when it comes to Jason. And so I thank God in 2015, while I was on my second month of that leave from public ministry, I was able in the month of April in 2015 to lead Jason to receive Jesus Christ. What a joy it is, and what a joy it was. And to this very day, Jason remembers that experience. And when I asked him, so Jason, are you sure you know Jesus Christ as your Savior and Lord? He points to that particular time in which he gave his heart to the Lord, even though he was just 5 years old. And dads, the greatest inheritance and blessing we could give our kids is to lead them to know Jesus Christ as their Savior, as their shepherd. When they know Jesus as their Savior, they have a shepherd who will meet every need in their life. What it means is they have both eternal security and they also have earthly security, and only Jesus can give both to all our kids if we would only take time to lead them to Jesus Christ. So dads, let's in this week, starting today, talk about Jesus Christ with your kids and invite them to give their hearts and to have a relationship with Jesus Christ. God bless every one of you. I'll see you tomorrow with our second tip. God bless you all.